How are you? I hope you all are doing good at home and you all are really taking part in the lessons very well. Last class, I have seen that you have really replied well and did very well. Your answers was very satisfactory, and I'm very happy that you really tried at least to know who the MLAs from your own constituencies. So today here we are again with our second lesson, the role of an MLA. That is from the same block, number 15. So let's see what you're going to learn today. Let's review as well our last class, and we'll see what something new is in store for us. So this is our new lesson, the role of an MLA. So what we'll do our review first. In our last class, we studied about how the government is formed in a state, and also we are able to know that the state government were formed based on the election results, and how those state elections are done. They were divided into smaller parts known as constituency, and each constituency had one elected member known as MLA. So this way, we were able to form a government in a state. And we also learned the functions of legislature, executive, judiciary, who were under these things and how they really functions. So let's see our learning objectives for today, or our lesson goals for this lesson that we are going to do. Today we are going to learn about the responsibilities and functions of the member of legislative assembly, in short MLA, who is an elected representative from our respective constituencies. There are so many constituencies. Last time we have discussed about our Nagaland, which have 60 constituencies. So we'll have 60 MLAs. In your book, one example is given of UP, Uttar Pradesh, which has got 80 constituencies. So there will be 80 MLAs. I hope that is very clear with you. So before we go into the lesson, this lesson talks about the role of an MLA, which you already know. But the most important question regarding this lesson is, what do you expect our elected leaders to do for us? In short, what do you expect the MLA to do for you or for us? Because when you think about this question, then only you will open up the roles and functions of an MLA. Until you don't think that he needs to do something for us, we will not be able to learn the functions and the role of an MLA. So when I ask you this question, you must be thinking lots of different answers, and your answers will vary from person to person. Some of you can say he must give us good health facilities. Someone can say he must give us proper roads. Someone can say he or she must give us drinking water. So whatever all these things, you one by one you can expect he or she must provide or do for us. But as a whole, if you all sit together and we discuss, then you will all agree that there are some basic needs that the constituency has, and he needs to provide them all. For example, starting from drinking water, health facility, proper road, proper sanitation, and raise the problems of our constituency in the legislative assembly. After all, we elected him or her, and she is responsible for doing all these duties. And moreover, she is also very accountable to us as well. This word accountable, you can say that how can he or she be accountable us? For this one, you need to understand that he might be an MLA now, but as you know, elections are held after every 5 years. So the next 5 years, he will need to come again to ask for votes. So he should be very accountable, because after all, again with the next election, he needs us for the votes, and we have the power to keep him or change him. So what are the role of an MLA? See, there is this basic way it's given the everything. everything is summarized in these 2 points if you see properly. Firstly, you see the MLA, the sitting MLA, who is the winner right now, the representative. He or she is responsible for proposing, studying, debating, and voting on bills, potential bills, and raising issues that concern their constituents. Now, proposing in the sense, he must propose that this is the problem of my constituency. We must look after it. He must study our constituency, see what are the problems, what are the lacking. He must debate the problems and everything in the in the assembly about our constituency. And voting on bills, there are so many bills which turned out to be laws afterwards. They affect every citizen, and in fact his own constituency people also. So he must vote on them, he must debate on them, talk on them, study on them. Secondly, he must spend his time with the constituents, in short, important people of the constituency. It is not possible for him to go and meet every person of his constituency. But in every constituency, there are some government officials, there are some government officials, there are some government functionaries, police, healthcare, everything, sanitation. There are so many government services come under his constituents, and he must give time meeting those constituents to discuss their concern and provide guidance and sometimes advice also relating to the government services, because he, after all, he is responsible for that constituency. Now, the responsibility of MLAs. Right now, what we have seen, the two roles of an MLA, that has been summarized everything. But if you want to break them in small parts, then in this page you will find this has been broken down in small topics. For example, serving the needs of the people in their constituency, you know it very well. He must look after the people, those who are in his constituency. Taking part in government, he must take part in the government, in the debate, in proposing, in studying, in the bill, voting on the bill, all these things. And the jobs, what he must do, also you find it in the role also, but here it is given in more detail, line by line, point by point. So you can see, bringing views and concerns of constituents to ministers for discussion. He must meet up those important people of the constituency, the important government officials, the important person of the constituencies, the in charges of the colonies, the wards, and then he must bring those concerns to the ministries for discussion, whether he is the from the ruling party or from the opposition party. He can always bring the matter to the ministries for discussion. Government is always responsible for doing that. Introducing, debating, and voting on bills. He can introduce his own thoughts, own ideas also. He can debate on the existing bills which produced by the ruling party or the opposition party, depends upon on which party he belongs, and voting on bills and asking constituents' opinions on programs. It is not he alone who just get up, thinks over it, and just go. No, but he must have regular meetings with the important government officials, important people of the constituency, and then he must take their opinions, and then as a collectively he must present the needs, requirements to the ministry. It should not be only from his mind. It has to be an combined effect. Working on government committees to study proposed bills. He must work with the government. If he is from the ruling party, he will be working with the government. But if he is from the opposition party also, he should work with the government committees to study the proposed bills, because he can always do that. He has every right to know what the government is doing, what the government is proposing to do, and the government is always answerable even to the opposition MLAs or opposition party also. Meeting with special interest groups. There will be lots of NGOs. Suppose a constituency is not a very big area. It is a small areas which are given. But in these small areas also many colonies are there. Now every colony will not be same. Every word will not be same. Every area will not be same. Some area will be very good. Some area will be underdeveloped. Some area will be slum areas. Now for the slum areas type, for the underdeveloped areas, he needs the help of interest groups which are known as NGOs. There are many NGOs. So he needs to cooperate with the NGOs, work with the NGOs to see that some help can be given to those underprivileged areas, to that slum areas, education to the slum area children, healthcare to the slum area children, or drinking water. So he can do this, but yes, he must take the help or meet with the special interest groups, the registered, recognized NGOs who work on this. Then helping constituents solve problems with government services. Sometimes even the government officials of a constituent may find a problem. Then he must go to the MLA, and that time MLA must resolve the problem, solve those problems with government services. For example, in your textbook, you have a case study, that is a district named Palampuram. If you see this case study in your book which is given, in that case study it is there that there is a small area, a district known Palampuram, where peoples are falling sick because of drinking unclean water. And when the water facility is not good, obviously you will fall sick. You can have diarrhea, you can have so many problems stomach related, and people sometimes die of unclean water. And when some disease happens in water, it is very easy to turn into an epidemic or pandemic, because water everyone drinks, so the disease can spread more rapidly. So in your case study you will see that the area was infected with the dirty water, and so there were many people falling sick, and there were more hospitalization needed. So the people and the opposition leader ask the sitting MLA or the representative of that area for answer. What are you doing regarding this problem? What is your solution for this problem? So you see, this last one, helping constituents solve problems with government services, relates with that case study. The MLA is responsible, the opposition leader must ask question, and even the people must ask question to the sitting MLA. In simpler term, if you have to understand in simple, what is the role of an MLA, and remember for long, this is a very simple example with a diagram. See, member of MLA in the middle. Number one that you need to know is that he represents a constituency. He represents a constituency, that is number one. Number two, he looks after the welfare of the people. This is very simple. He looks after the welfare of the people. Number three is accountable to people. And number four, can raise questions in legislative assembly. I hope I have discussed all these 4 points. Represent a constituency, I have already discussed. Looks after the welfare of the people, just now we have discussed. Is accountable to people, I have discussed on that issue. And he can raise question, that also I have discussed to you just now. Now here is a photograph. Some of you might have visited our Nagaland Legislative Assembly, or some of you not. So I've collected some photograph. Number one photograph is the picture of the Legislative Assembly building. This is the in Kohima, where the ministers sit and debate and talk. In the second picture, you can see our Chief Minister, Mr. Nipurio, is presenting the bill, financial year, the budget for 2018-19 bill he is presenting, and all the members are sitting. This one you can see here, Mr. T.R. Zelian. This is also one picture. He is the opposition leader right now. And this is, you can see the full picture where everyone is sitting. And this is one table you can see in the front, where the people who sits and records all the details and all the workings of the happenings. Next, assignments and announcement. Please read the section, the role of MLA, from the content book, complete workbook. Question number PQ is only a tick the correct, do in your content book. Question 6, write in your notebook. Log into the Google Classroom. If you have any doubt, please feel free to contact me. Lastly, thank you once again for attending the class. You all are really doing great jobs. I've seen your answers last class also. I'm very happy. Keep searching, keep asking your parents. This is the best time. They are at home, they can guide you. If any problem, do contact me through WhatsApp or call, and I can explain it to you better. And moreover, enjoy your time, stay home, stay safe, and take care till we again meet in our next class. So have a great time. Bye bye.